Hey guys, welcome back. I'm the Honest Mechanic, and this is part 3 of our mini series on the Yamaha Big Bear restoration. Stick around. So for those of you keeping track, so far we've done some cosmetic work, we've done some brake work, and we've also done an oil change, an air filter. It's starting to add up quite a bit there. But just when you think you're about ready, you run into this problem. The entire swing arm is about ready to fall off. Well, not really. I'll show you what's inside. But there's 2 bearings inside the pivot points, so we're going to have to replace those. So cue the high speed. So the complete swing arm is out, and as for the pivot bearings, this is what's left of them. Really not much here. So these are collars that help space everything, but this is one of the bearings. I mean, look at that. It's not much left, and this one's even worse. There's no cage, just the inner. Crazy. Found a couple of the rollers and part of a seal. And speaking of seals, like I needed more work, the seal, I don't know if I can get my light to shine perfectly in there. Give me a second here. The seal inside here, the input seal to the rear end, is leaking pretty badly. Actually, you can see right there, you can see the lip of the seal is all torn up. So I'm going to have to order some of that too. It's the next day, and here we are, going back to the store one more time, hopefully the last time, to change that seal that we have inside. So I'm going to go get this cleaned up, and we're going to take this apart, change that seal, and I'll see you right back here. It's all clean. Now, what's next is to, unfortunately, have to dismantle this whole thing in order to get to the seal. I'm going to have to remove the differential from the swing arm, which means I'm going to have to remove the nut, probably the hub here, probably these 2 nuts here, because there's also a very similar looking nut inside, way inside here, and I can't get into there. And then we're going to take this out, put it on the bench, remove that nut, and we'll see you in a little bit. And just like that, with a bit of movie magic, everything is back together. But it didn't actually happen as easy as it looked there. I had to remove this axle. I had to take this whole skid out to a friend where he had a press and some torches. I had to torch out the outer races here. I had to press out the axle in order to gain access to the seal because the differential had to be separated. A whole bunch of stuff happened. I wasn't able to film it, but I did take some pictures. If you guys are doing this project, take a look at this. Pay close attention because there's some really good information in there for you. After unbolting the differential from the swing arm, you need to press the axle left to right in this orientation, like if you were sitting on the bike, and that will gain access to the seal that's located here after it's all freed up. Here's a better look at that seal and the nut that we need to remove. My buddy just so happened to make years ago a tool for a very similar situation, and this is what we ended up using. I don't have any dimensions or anything for you, but if you need to know what it is, I can give you some blueprints for that. Worked out really well. After removing that seal, this is what the bearing inside looked like. I ended up having to run to the store again, getting a bearing, pressing it into place, and reinstalling the pinion gear with a new seal. I always lubricate the seal with some grease to make sure that it doesn't run dry upon startup. And here's a better look at that bearing. I figure that the swing arm bearing on the left may have caused this by falling into the tube and then grinding up into that bearing. Here's a close-up of the swing arm bearing outer race. I die grinded one and managed to get it out, but if you have torches, that's definitely the way to go. Now before we can take the swing arm and put it back into the rear of the ATV, we need to install the new bearings. But these bearings from factory don't come greased at all. They are completely dry, and that's just not going to last, right? So there's many ways of greasing bearings. This is a miniature version of what you would probably see as a wheel bearing, for example. So the way I was taught is that's how I'm going to teach you guys here. You're going to take a little bit of grease. I like to use, for this application, I'm going to use the thickest, tackiest grease I can find. I'm going to put a bit of grease in the palm of my hand here. I'm wearing a glove because that just makes it less messy for later. And we're going to take the face of the bearing and we're going to force grease into the face of the bearing right over here. A lot of people will end up just sliding some grease across the outside here, but that doesn't fill the entire cavity or the cage of the bearing. And you're probably wondering, well, what do you mean the face of the bearing? The face of the bearing is where, when you look at it from either side, where you see more balls. That's just the way my professor told me back when I was in aviation school. That's how I've always remembered it. He says, if you are ever wondering, just pretend that you were taking a shower, you get out of the shower, you stand in front of the mirror. What do you see? More balls? That's the face of it. That's what we're going to go with. So you're just going to grab the bearing and you're just going to force grease into the face of it until it actually comes out through the front. And you're going to do that all the way around. We're going to reinstall it into place. We're going to put the seals in place and we're going to install it, and we're going to set these bearings with just a little bit of tension. So stick around for that. The swing arm is back in place, but guys, there really is no easy way to do this. You got to muscle it in, unfortunately. But something that I can maybe offer as a suggestion is to first put in the lower shock, because you have to disconnect it anyways. So get the shock to support everything. So right now everything is kind of moving around. You can see that the bolts for the swing arm bearings are not in place yet, same as this side. And when it comes to reinstalling the drive shaft, what I did is I put the longer piece with the spring inside the tube first. And then I simply used the front wheel and I started rotating the front wheel a little bit while I was swinging the swing arm back and forth until it caught the splines. And once it caught, it just sucked it right in. So now I'm going to install these two bolts on either side. I'm going to set them. And the best way to do that is you're going to put this in. If I can just put my flashlight here so you guys can see. So I'm going to install this one, and the easiest way to do that, we're just going to get the thread started a little bit. Kind of hard to do with camera in your hands. And you're going to do the same thing on the other side. You're going to set these. You're going to set these in. We're going to put a little bit of pressure on it. We're going to set the other side. And then we're going to then, at that point, lock them down with the lock nut. And I'm going to say, after a ride or so, I'm going to back off the lock nut. And I'm going to make sure that there's still enough pressure on these two so that nothing kind of wiggles back and forth and it's all nice and tight. Don't forget the collar. And don't do like what I just did. I forgot to install the collar, and now I've got like 2 threads sticking out, shaking my head here, kind of figuring out what the heck I've missed. And yeah, this collar, I kind of figured there was something going wrong because there's a nice gap in between the seal and the bolt there, which would allow a lot of dirt to go through. So don't do that. Don't forget it. Put it in there. I've installed the new boot after setting these bolts down here. I've replaced the nice little caps. They're still there. Don't forget to put in your vent line when you're doing this, because that's got to be out of the way. And then of course reattach all of the brake cables and stuff that we did previously on another episode. But anyways, now let's move on to the battery. As you can tell, well, I got a nice big battery because that's what I had, and again, since I'm on a budget, but it doesn't fit. So, in true fashion, I'm going to remove it. I'm going to make a bracket and see how it works. I'm rifling through my pile of steel. I always keep stuff on hand just for actually this kind of occasion. Check out this beautiful shiny piece. It kind of stuck out. I like shiny stuff. So this actually, I put it in a vise, gave it a bit of a tweak. And if I put that right there, and if I take this battery, this actually fits pretty slim. Of course, it's not welded in place yet, and the hose is kind of taking it away, but that's how that's going to kind of sit. So I'm going to weld that in place. I'm going to trim this up, and we'll see if we need to do anything more from there. I've allowed it to cool off. Now check this out. All welded up. I had a little bit of an extra space, so I filled that up with some rubber hose for now. I mean, if I really wanted to, I could probably end up finding a nice little rubber bumper. I'm going to find something to, probably a bungee cord, to go from over here right across the top, maybe to the other side. But yeah, if I can get my fingers out of the way, you guys can see what's going on. But rubber hose is actually doing something because I can't get it out. Look at that, it's awesome. Cool. Alright, let's reinstall the battery. And there we have it. Battery is reinstalled. Actually, it starts really good now too. I didn't have any bungee cords or any elastics for that matter, so I ended up using just larger tie wraps, and it's really secure. It's not going anywhere. I'm very happy with it. I might put a second one just for the redundancy purposes, but yeah, that's what it looks like. Alright guys, that's it for today. I'm going to be finishing up by putting the 2 wheels back on, tidying up a few little loose ends, but otherwise, I'm going to see you guys in the next video, hopefully on the trail. So we'll catch you then. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Give me a thumbs up. See you next time.